Hey everybody, it's Aubrey. Welcome back to my channel. So, mostly I'm always doing like binary options because I feel like they're the easiest way to start off. But for some people who are already like trading Forex, I want to show like my go-to strategy. My mentor, who I learned this from, what I liked about this is that it wasn't like what I was normally taught. Like when I was first started trading, I was taught like support resistance, if it breaks, trend line, like how you guys can see here, this trend line. Like, and sometimes I just didn't have any confidence with that because it's just like, how do I know when it's for sure breaking? How do I know for sure if this is just the retest and if it's gonna like just continue going, like that would always be the thing. So when I found this and it finally gave me like metrics of like, okay, these are the rules, you got to be strict. If it doesn't follow this, it's a no-go. And the discipline of just only doing one strategy for an entire year. So I would say that this is where my consistency really kind of just took off. So I'm in 4 different trades right now that I'm pretty sure, I think I marked these up either Sunday of this week or maybe probably like Friday of last weekend. I really love the 4-hour time frame. It's like my favorite. The pattern that I traded for a year and feel like is my go-to pattern also would be like the cipher pattern. And I kind of just kept this trend line in here too, just so that you can kind of see like the harmonics go together with all of that basic stuff that they kind of like, that you learn when you first get started. So I'm in AU, I'm in Euro GBP, I'm in GBP Chef, and I'm in New Zealand NZD USD that we're looking at right now. Only ones that I'm gonna show you are NU and AU because those are ciphers. Um, Euro GBP is a BAT, and I kind of just started trading that within this year, so we're not even gonna be talking about that. And so is GBP Chef. So let's start like, I'm gonna just kind of start like from scratch on like another chart. Well, because I'm gonna show you like how these measurements go. Like all you really need is a fib and just to like take notes of like what the measurements are, and that's it. You can throw in these extra things like this trend line of what I did. You see here, I'm in a sell right now. I caught this from the C point. I spotted this like from the beginning when the market opened. Some people might have like, when I first started trading, people would have gotten tricked by this large candle that set this off. People think it's going to continue to go up. As you can see, just let me just move the heart. All right, I'll just hit undo because I like everything to stay exactly when I'm like keeping before and after. I'll show you guys the before in just a second. But like starting all the way from down here, it continued going up. So this huge large candle, I'm pretty sure people would have thought it was going to keep going up, but I fibbed it out. And I saw that it was right here between this sweet spot, this sweet zone, which you can always usually rely and count on, and that's between the 272 and the 414. You can change your SPID settings to make it like match this. It's adjustable. And so like once I saw it was in there, I hit the sell, and even though it did like kind of come back up, little retest or whatnot, like you just gotta hold it and stay true and know. So I'll show you guys like the before. This was before. Like once I measured it and I saw that it was here, I was like, oh, I don't care, it's gonna sell, and we'll just keep this trend line here just for that extra confirmation of that, oh, break and retest, and just ride it on out. And as you can see, it exactly broke and retest. Even that probably would have caught some people too, because that's even a strategy. Sometimes what I used to use engulfing candles, this was a bullish engulfing, so some people probably bought around there too. And then it tricked them. It came down and they were like, oh, it's okay, I'm gonna hold on, it's gonna be all right. And then it came right back up, retested. They got like they probably like zeroed out, got a negative, or I mean, it came to 0, and they were like, okay, it's gonna get ready to go my way. And then hot psych, keep going down. And it's gonna continue down with this harmonic. I feel like it's gonna come all the way right about here and then continue up because this is overall a much bigger pattern. So let's go. I think oh, I guess I'm on FX. Oh. go to and the chart. And I'm not gonna go over the basics. If you need help like knowing what the basics are, you need to just like get in the academy, because the academy is what like goes over the basics. We're past that. So I'm gonna always start from wherever my lowest point is. Obviously that's gonna be this very tip. Do measure the wicks. And then you want to follow the market. How do I know where I follow the market? Well, whatever the top of the mountain and the bottom of the valley, those are the following the market. So I'm going to show you you got enough basics so you can see like where I'm stopping at. Okay, so I'm measuring from this point down here at the bottom to this is the first move, that very tip of this week right there. That is where this 0 point is, and I'm just going to drag it all the way across because price is all the way over here to the left. So just to make it easier for me to see where it's at. Okay, so this is my starting bottom point right over here. And then this is going to be where I stopped in right over here at this point. Now, price it came back. That's called the retracement. Now, however much it can come down to, needs to be like to the 618. Interesting. So on different charts, it's like valid and invalid. If we go to the daily time frame, it's not like we have to make sure that this doesn't go past the 618. That's definitely one rule. On the chart that I just had, let me see, it doesn't go past it. So definitely keep that as a note. I took it to that point. Yeah, it has to be valid. You guys have to learn like the proper way. Okay, so it's not counting this point. But even over there, it oh, it really does depend on the chart. Because on this chart, on the last chart, I used this point, not this point. However, on this chart, it doesn't retrace enough. In order for the cipher pattern, it needs to retrace at least a minimum of this 38.2. It can come all the way up down into the 618, which is why I was going to try to use this point over here, because it did come down to the 618. It just can't go past the 618. So that's another thing, depending on the chart that you use, if it's valid or not. On the other chart, it is valid. I'm showing you on a fresh chart because I don't want to mess up that one, because I like to do exactly the before and after with the results. Okay, so with the cipher, once it comes down to that maximum of the 618, that this is going to be our X leg. That's the starting point. This creates our A leg up here, the B leg. And then once you see what the B leg is, that's how you automatically know what the C leg is going to be. And usually, like I said, it's this sweet spot. On this chart, it didn't get up to the 414, but on the other chart, you saw that it did. Like that's usually like the maximum. So that's probably going to be where you get your best risk to reward, because if it goes any much more past that, even 10, 20 pips, all right, you're just get out of there. But that's when you can catch the move all the way down. And so sometimes before I understood and knew harmonics, I would be buying way up here at the top, not realizing that it was the top, and that's the worst position to get into. So right now, Yeah, like I said, we're just writing this cell all the way down, and the D leg is going to complete right here at this sweet spot. This right there, that's 78.6. So the harmonic tool over here went to the left. This is how you would draw it out. It would be down here, this very tip top point. So this very tip top point of A, the maximum it can go is to the 618, which it is on the other chart. And the maximum of the C leg can go is to this 414. And then that's going to bring us right back down here to our finished and complete harmonic of where this is going to be considered a bullish cipher, because once price comes down here, we're going to get a bull run up, even if it's a small retracement. How you'll know what your TP is, you're going to get another fib. Okay, let me, because I don't want to put too much on here. So, you know, I'm going to get another fib. And I'm going to take that very tip top, the wick of this C point, which is right where that orange line is. Interesting. Isn't it interesting how price literally come exactly to retouch these certain areas? Like, it's just amazing. And I'm going to bring it down to where D should complete, which is the 786. However, if it goes down a little bit farther, you do have to remeasure, because you'll get a new TP. With the first TP, oh, let's set this down right there. Well, it has to be to the D. So where I had circled was probably like right there. TP1 is going to be right here at this 38.2. So once price comes all the way down right here where I had circled it, we can expect it to give us a little run up to at least a minimum of this 38.2. If it does continue to TP2, that's going to be this 618 going up right here. So let me do an arrow too, just in case you aren't able to follow the cursor. I'll make it pretty thick so we can see. This is right here is where price is right now. We can expect it. What I'm looking for it to do is to come down here and then go ahead and give me a little run up to right here. So what I'll do is I will set out my risk to reward. That way I know exactly what I'm getting into. So that's a long position, because long is considered buy. How do I know what my risk is on this particular move? It's always going to be that 1.13. However, you'll learn over time that sometimes it can come right down to that area and then go right in your direction. So I kind of put it a little bit past there, and then if it hits it, hey, at least, you know, I tried to play the game the way they tried to play the game, right? Gotta give yourself a shot. So I'll put this right here, and I'll just kind of wait for it to play out. But I have another one, because that will be the completed one. As you get a little bit more advanced and you start being able to catch it from the C leg like what we just did. Let's take a look at some of this stuff. Yep. All right. So we're catching it from the C leg, but say if you didn't know all about like the harmonics and whatnot, what I used to do is take a little trend line, you know, you're supposed to, if two points touch, and you want to keep it as straight as possible. So it would be all the way to where those points are right there. To perfection. I will always try to have it like that. And so look at that perfect break, and then it came right back up, retested, and it continued down. And then plus another strategy I used to love, what I started with was teacups. This is a teacup right here. So we've got a bullish candle followed by a bearish, followed by a lower low. You set you a little sell limit. I'll put the horizontal line so you can see what I'm talking about. Sell limit right here. Price came down, it came back up, retested, and now you would have been in profit right now because it's gonna sell. And so that's how all of that comes together. I absolutely love harmonic patterns. This is my go-to, my absolutely favorite pattern right now. This is my little baby account, so everybody knows that they can do it, but it has $100 in it. Where's the little, how do I swipe so y'all can see the, oh, I guess it's only Android that can make it do, but y'all see the wheel? Oh, y'all see the little reel sticker? So got a little $100 in there, and we're in AU, we're in Euro GBP, we're in GBP Chef and New Zealand dollar. Yeah, like I said earlier. And right now on a $100 account, it's at 36, so we're about up 36%. And that's in a week, thank goodness. That's called sticking to the plan. I used to watch these things play out all the time and not really trust myself in the process. And now after a year, it's like, girl, you better stop that. You better like give yourself some more credit. So I'm gonna zoom in here so that y'all can see, like, this is how I have my chart marked up, and I don't like to I like everything to stay exactly how it is. So this is the AU that we're in. I caught it right down here from this very, very bottom tippity top. I use this one right here. I'm gonna take that off. Oops, let me do that. I'm gonna take that off really quick, and I'm gonna show you how I measured this out. Okay, let me move this harmonic too, and I'll just put it. So I'm coming down here into this very tippity top bottom. And I'm gonna bring it up to, this is the highest point, not this one, even though it's the closest, this one, because you wanna flow with the market. So, and that's where I'm coming to. I wanna drag the 0 on that high all the way across to where price is at now, because you just wanna kind of follow it with price until it gets to exactly where I want it to. As you can see where that blue line is here at the bottom, it says entry. That's gonna be my buy limit position. So this is another thing of why I love harmonics and why I stick to them, is because when I first started trading, I was able to kind of sit in front of the screen, and a lot of people who aren't, when they're not able to do that when they first start, they always think, they use that as an excuse. Oh, if I was able to sit in front of the screen, I would be able to be the best trader ever because I would have time to learn all day. No, not exactly. Then you might mess your account up because you got time to sit there and keep jumping in the trade, and then you jump in on one position and it's not going that way. So then you jump in on the opposite, thinking that way, okay, it's not going in the buy. Let me jump in on the sell, so then I can start making money. And then now you're in 2 negative positions the whole day, and you sitting here wondering how. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this. I'm gonna keep this one here because that was on that's a smaller little cipher that played out really quick right here, and look at how that led all the way up into here to see like harmonics are literally all over the place, and some traders don't even realize that they're trading harmonics. They don't even realize it. Like sometimes people, when they can just eyeball it or feel like, oh, I think I'm gonna go do it off right here, like sometimes they don't even realize that they're in that. So let's go ahead and bring it back to what's the beginning of this week. I know we got full moon is coming up. It's either this Tuesday or this Tuesday. So I'm super excited about that. All right, so the start of this week was 29th. 27. Oh, is the 27th. I think that was Friday. Look at that. They really tried to trick everybody, the banks, right before they closed for the weekend. Let's leave them off on this big bullish run so they can think it's going to continue going. So we'll come to the 29th. That's literally right when the market opened up. So once I had measured this out and I saw that it was literally right here at this 414, I was like, oh, it's game, baby. I was willing to risk all the way up to where this 618 is, just in case. But look, you ain't even need that. It didn't even come up to the 50. So I was willing to risk 130 pips to catch 538. And you'll see that number like right here, 130. And the amount to catch is the 538 here at the bottom. So I'm still in this. I'm probably going to be in this until next week. It'll probably finish out next week. And I bet you this little, the actual harmonic, that entry point, this is where I'm going to expect it to. This is going to be my next risk to reward. I'm willing to risk for it to come down here to about 160 pips to catch. This is 1,300, but that cannot be right because this is much. Oh, sorry, just kidding. I'm over here. 222. I'm trying to get the bag. That's funny. Okay, I'm getting excited, y'all. I get so excited. Once I found this, it was, I couldn't help myself but want to learn this. Like I had my very first trade ever. I had no idea what I was doing. I had just copied some numbers somebody had told me to do, and I made $6, but I made it in my sleep. And that literally changed my life. I was like, I have to learn this because where I literally prayed for this. Where let me just be that generation. I'm a 90s baby, and I've always wanted to just be able to sit back and make money from my phone, be a business person, but not have the stress of like how you see like the CEOs. Why can't I just multiply money from my bank, my phone, the money that I already got, or like just find money out the sky? Like you literally can just find money out the sky. Like it's the best feeling in the world. So it's very easy to learn. Anybody can learn this. So this is why one of the reasons really I wanted to start off with like my surgery when I started this YouTube, but then I was like, okay, well, when am I going to keep going? Well, okay, how did you even get to that surgery? You know, like all of this entire like little process, this whole little journey has started from me just the whole entrepreneur like thing. I had first started out in real estate and then just thank goodness ended up here because this is way less stressful and way easier to do. And especially now with everything being how it was. Oh my gosh, I have to show you guys. I knew this crash was coming. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you. I keep track of stuff. Like you have to. How else can you get better? Like if you don't have proof to show your growth, you know? All right, so I had been watching this since back over here, which was like at the end of 2019. I thought it was going to continue dropping from here. So I actually lost a lot of money because I had a sell and you can see it just continued right back up. But I kept this little horizontal red line here right at this 272 because I know that's a little hot spot. That's a sweet zone, always between there and this 414, which you can add on your fibs yourself and keep track of and see where I keep this little eye at because this is a harmonic. I want it to play out. You see, we start down from this X point back here in 2016, and we took it all the way up to these. This is a double top right here, this little M. You see it comes right up here, comes down, fakes everybody out, goes down. They think it's gonna keep going down. Me over here on its other leg. And then it just boom, shoots up. And the minimum requirement of the cipher is gonna be this 38.2 level here, and that's where it came down to. The maximum it could come down is this 618. So this is another bullish cipher. I don't know why I have it red. Oh, I have it red because I was waiting on the sale. I'm trying to catch that C leg. I'm gonna change it to blue because it's ultimately gonna be bullish because when it gets down to here is where we want to see a little bit of a retracement. So let me move this so y'all can see like at this 29,725 price is where I'm expecting to see some action, right? And wow, look at that. Where we have the eye at, literally exactly where it was. It could have even came back here, but it wasn't even playing. It was like, nope, let's just get the show on the road. And it just dropped. Like I did not even expect it to go so fast. Like you see, I have the entry point way over here. I'm thinking it's gonna take some time. I'm thinking it's gonna like, you know, do some, you see how it kind of did some little M's and squigglies to get up to that point. I think it's gonna make its way down and squiggle. No, it just said, oh, it just dropped. So it's probably going, I want to see how this ends up looking up. We need to look at where it's at right now. So at this price here, around 1,800 is where I'm expecting for it to kind of shoot back up. But again, remember our risk is can come all the way down to this 131 area. So watch. Even in 2008, when everybody was talking about, oh, the market crashed, everything was so bad. If you look at it on the chart, it literally went right back up after that. But people complained about it for so long. So you just got to know when's the right time to buy. And I honestly believe we're literally getting ready to be right there. Okay, I'm gonna do. I should have hit back on all those other times. Hopefully it saves yourself. Oh, I don't mess it up. Skip my before and after. Hold on, let me go back because I want everything to stay exactly the same. Real quick before we move on. All right. Okay, cool. You know the reason why I do that? When I first started trading Forex, I was in a group where this dude would post like the before, and then he would go, like we would enter into a trade that he had marked up. It's in chart out and everything, and I'm entering exactly like what these little numbers over here on this side say. And then if the trade would lose, and then he'd post another picture afterwards and be like, "Oh yeah, we're the best. Everybody should have made profit." And I'm like, what? I entered exactly what you have put. How does it look exactly? He would go and change the markup, and my naive self, being so trustful and just really hoping that this person gonna help guide the way to the light was gonna be honest, but everybody, gotta do what they gotta do, right? Anyways, okay, so I wanna see where it's at. Oh, I was on the week, so let's jump over here to the week. Great. I'm gonna move this just so we can see a little bit better of where price is. What is that? Oh, that's a drawing. I thought that's where price was. I was like, did it literally jump up there? I was gonna say, oh, this is crazy. Okay, so even though I wanted it to be over here where I drew it, I'm still gonna leave where the drawing is. But basically, again, like I said, I want price to come. How do we see? Well, the 1800 level. So if you'll just follow over here where the black numbers is, I'm gonna line it up where 1800 should be. Like right about there. You see how the 786, that's our entry point. You see how price came literally right a couple of pips away from there, and then it shot up to this little bullish candle. Let's go ahead and see where we can expect our, I did not expect this to happen so quickly, y'all. I'm just flabbergasted, really. So we got to remeasure because we know where our D actually ended now. Before we didn't, we just took it to where the 786 was. So I'm gonna take it from this C point. Pretty sure that's where the wick is. Like, literally there. Okay, so about 22,600 even is where we can expect for this to, at a minimum, to come up to. So I'm going to put down our long position. Let's put it right there. And where our risk was going to be, where is the 3 from here? I think it'll end up, it would have been probably somewhere like right in there. So this would have been a risk, willing to risk 3,600 to catch about 4,000. So 1-to-1 basically, just a little bit over a 1-to-1. It would be, I wonder if it can at least come back up here because that's TP2 is about 2,500, and that would be about 6,000. So that would be about a 2-to-1. And then I wonder what it's going to do from there, because after that, I'll have to watch to see some more price action painted itself out and whatnot. So that's it. I don't want this video to be too long. Plus, this is a sweet time to end off. This is like one of my favorite numbers, 112. And I just wanted to share that good information with you. Right now, with everything going on, this coronavirus, and us having so much free time, like I posted in my IG today, we have 30 days of you ain't got nothing much to do. There are some people that are still working from home, so yes, I consider that. But again, you do have an hour of the day minimum that you can spend trying to learn something new, or just like trying this stuff, like just trying. Like, who would not want to be able to make, $40, $35 from your phone, from 100, huh? Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to, you know? Shoot, if you saw $40, $35 on the floor, would you walk past it? I won't. So yeah, but I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for just being you, being lovely and wonderful. And I wish you blessings and send positive energy your way. Bye.